want to thank everybody for attending our monthly Republican Party meeting. It's an exciting time for all of us because May 5th is just around the corner. And I was telling some of the candidates, I'm not primary this time. I go straight to the general. But I have been primaried, and I know it's nerve-wracking. I know you've worked really hard at your campaigns, and we just listened to the voters in Marion County and come out of this primary election stronger and more focused, because we're all going to get behind each candidate that makes it through the primary. So at this time, I'd ask Madam Secretary to read the minutes from our last meeting.
We have to prayer.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm way out of order, aren't I? If you'll stand, we'll ask Larry to lead us.
Heavenly Father, we come to your holy throne in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. To that name, every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess on that day. I look forward to that day. God, I thank you for the wonderful meeting I had with the commissioners last night. It went smooth. I was so happy to see that. Father, I ask you to be with all of us tonight as we talk and visit and talk about the GOP. God, bless our mouths and our thoughts and our heads, and let us have you speak through us. These things I ask in Jesus' name, and amen.
Amen. Commissioner Schaefer.
Call me the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You can be seated. Now, Madam Secretary, if you read the minutes from last meeting. Last month's meeting.
Meeting was called to order at 6:02 p.m. by Chairman Jeff Story. The invocation was led by Travis Lane, and Paul Schaefer led the pledge. Secretary Kim Grayson read the minutes of the February meeting. A motion to accept the minutes as read was given by Paul Schaefer, seconded by Marilyn McDavid, and approved by the board. The budget report was presented by Treasurer Paul Schaefer. February donations were $109. Closing balance on this date, $6,170.14. Thank you to James Hudson, as MCGOP now has 413 Facebook followers. Yay! Ms. Rosar announced the National Day of Prayer will be on May 7th at the courthouse in Jasper, Tennessee at noon. She also spoke on the 9/11 and October 7th Never Forget campaign. David Thompson resigned as Vice Secretary after board approved vote. Nancy Perry was nominated as Vice Secretary by Vice Chairman Marilyn McDavid, seconded by Kim Grayson, and approved by the board. Jeff Story informed rules of signage for candidates are only used on public property, on city and county right-of-ways, and only on private property with permission from property owners. No blocking opposing candidate signs, and be mindful of county mowing. Vice Treasurer Suzanne Montague spoke on the Reagan dinner and gave the go-ahead for board members to form a committee to survey the Lookout Winery for approval of the event to be held there. A minimum of 3 gubernatorial candidates will be invited to the dinner, as well as GOP representatives Iris Rudder, Todd Gardenheimer, Janice Bowling, Chuck Fleischman, and Governor Lee. Dinner tickets will range from $30 to $50, depending on the entrees offered and chosen. Early voting for the primary starts April 15th. We must come together and support each other to win this race. Kelly Hudson announced she has no Republican challengers and is running as an independent for school board. Is that correct?
No.
She's running
No.
for board. Trustee.
Trustee.
Yes, yes. Thank you. David Thompson and Tom Hudson are bona fide and therefore qualified to run as Republican County Commissioners and receive $200 support from MCGOP. County Commissioners meeting discussion commenced, including federal grant money for water line and complications that arose with that project. Also discussed with committee obligation, school funding projects and their website. Motion to adjourn at 7:28 by Paul Schaefer, seconded by Marilyn McDavid, and approved by the board.
I move to accept the minutes as corrected. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Motion carries. The treasury report. the man with all the money on it.
Balance, March 24th was $6,238.14. Donations for March, the 24th was $93, giving us a balance of $6,331.14.
Awesome. Good job, y'all.
Very good.
That's our contribution from our members. And again, we're not a profit-making center. That money will be spent.
That's 3 times what we've ever had since I've been in it for the last 12 years or so.
Yeah. And a big portion will go to our Reagan dinner. But we should get it back in contributions from the people that sell the tickets, that sell the tables. We want to do a program where people can buy advertising in the program. We're still working on that. It's kind of difficult with everything going on with the election right now to be trying to plan an event like that. So we had talked about late May or early June. Nancy recommended that we possibly push it off to after August. And because if we're going to do it, we need to do it right. And it will be awesome to have all these people like congressmen, senators, U.S., and then our state representatives. And hopefully a new mayor in Marion County.
Amen.
Okay. Now, at this time, I always put chairman's comments. And I've been thinking about a few things. You know, last month, we had a really heated debate about our education system. I think there were some things that were said that probably shouldn't have been said because it was heated. All I can do right now is tell you how I feel about our education system in Marion County. And I think the board, for the most part, will agree. I'm going to give them a chance to chime in after I say my piece about education. It is my belief that we have great educators in Marion County. It's my belief that they come in every day trying to improve the young people that are placed in their charge. Everybody gets hung up on these state scores. Now, I didn't understand them, just be honest with you. And I spoke with Chuck Keith, who is assistant principal at Marion County High School, and I learned a whole lot. Did you know that our advanced placement kids, the ones that are taking college courses, their scores are not included in the state score? And Chuck used the example. He said, you got 40 kids in the history class, but 20 of them are taking advanced history, college courses. But they are not included in the state score. So the more people, more kids Marion County has participating in advanced placement, it takes us to, I don't want to use the wrong word here, but you know, all kids in our school are precious. Some excel more than others. So the kids that are excelling more than others are not included in our state test score. And that's wrong. Because it penalizes a school for preparing their children, our kids, to go to college and to get ahead. As they graduate, they already have these college courses under their belts, the credits. So I think the Republican Party has really spent too much time focusing on test scores. I see athletes, female, male, getting awesome scholarships, full rides to colleges. I see kids academically getting full ride to colleges out of Marion County. So I'm going to ask the Republican Party from henceforth that we look at the whole picture and not just look at those test scores. Go out and talk to our kids. Our kids are smart, talented. Just get out in the community and see.
What is the reason that they don't include the others?
You know, I can't answer that. Chuck didn't really go into detail on that. There's some other measurements Chuck pointed out to me that really makes the grading system unfair. But I just don't see why we have to focus on that. Let's focus on our kids. And I'm asking the Republican Party to do that. And I'm sure you will. Okay. Next. Oh, does anybody disagree or have anything to add from the board? Because it is the party.
Well, they need to put it in the newspaper. They need to let people know.
That would,
Because all
we
the-
may be able to get Chuck to write an explanation and forward it to Marion County Messenger.
I would love
Just-
to have that.
Just so the whole county knows what we're being graded on. And if it's really valid, does it really matter? Now, I will tell you this, the day we become complacent with education, eventually we become irrelevant. You can't. We've got to improve in education. And I believe that it is everybody in our educational system. They wouldn't be in there if they didn't want to improve. So yeah, we need to get better. Every county in Tennessee needs to get better. Every county in America needs to get better with education.
Our children are our future.
Yes, and that's why we have to invest in them and give them a fair shake. I'm so impressed with the Interact clubs, the Beta clubs. It's awesome what our kids are doing. And you know, I remember when the Interact club was here at the county commission, there was only one adult sponsor. Now there may have been more, there were one here that night, but as those young men and women got up and spoke, I've never been so proud, I don't think, of our school system, just to hear those young people.
The Interact clubs, there's 3 of them in
Right.
Marion County. They come before Rotary and they speak. And the awards that they win when they go into competition at the state level would flabbergast you on how well Marion County fares in competition against the rest of the state in Interact.
Yeah.
So our troop, and they do a lot for the community that people don't really understand.
And I'm telling you, and I admit it, the Republican Party has focused too much on state test scores. We need to see if our children are ready to pursue a career with the education they get, and I believe they are, based on what I've seen. I had a stepson, I had a grandson and a granddaughter, all go to Marion County schools. And I consider them extremely intelligent. Now, I may be biased, but I do. Okay, moving on.
And another thing, Miss Tennessee comes from South Pittsburgh, Miss Powell.
Powers.
Powell.
Presley Powers, if you don't know, I announced it at the county commission meeting last night, but she's a pharmacist at the drugstore in South Pittsburgh, born and raised in New Hope, and she became Miss Tennessee, and she will compete for Miss America. Don't we have a lot to be proud of in our kids in Marion County?
Jeff,
Yes.
one other thing about the kids, we, Marion Chamber of Commerce had some workshops for what these kids might want to do for a living. And well, I participated in that in Whitwell for the 7th graders, and also did it for Jasper, the 7th graders. I was amazed at these kids. You know, one of them said, I want to be an underwater welder. You know, who comes up with that? You know,
Yes, that's seventh
one
grade.
wanted to be a big vet, big animal vet. The other one wanted to be a small, you know, animal vet, and all kind of stuff that they already are thinking about at 7th grade. So
That's-
something's going right,
Yeah.
you know?
And I think we do probably hundreds of thousands of things right every day, but we, the general public out here in Marion County, don't see it.
Yeah.
So,
There's a lot that's going on under the scarf for new corporations, new businesses coming into Marion County that I can't divulge because it's still preliminary.
right.
But if they come to fruition, it'll be jobs that are astronomical. There'll be further education for UT. And it'll just enhance people coming into Marion County and the growth of Marion County.
Awesome. Okay, now to go to something a little negative. Nobody told me when I took this position that I would get phone calls and be cursed out.
Oh.
But in one day, I had a lady call me from Chattanooga, cussing me. Said, Congressman Desjardins won't answer his phone. Nobody answers the phone. There's a whole lot of little colorful words in that. And I said, well, ma'am, I answered the phone. And then it went click. Now, I had a county commissioner call me. And he had been given some false information by one of our trolls. And he was told that his name was mentioned last month in this meeting. And I can tell you right now, I know it wasn't. No commissioner's name were mentioned. We talk about a consistent vote of 11-2, 12-2, but there was never a commissioner's name mentioned last month. Well, he was told that I mentioned his name, called him out, and I tried to talk to him, and I said, you know, I guess he doesn't have Facebook. I said, all you got to do is go look at Marion County Messenger. It was filmed live, and you'll see the truth. I said, somebody's not telling you the truth, just like the last time, because this has happened twice. Well, he just kept cussing me and screaming at me. And I'm a big boy. I can take it, you know? But then he took my Lord's name in vain. And let me tell you, when you do that, the phone call's over with, and that phone call ended. And you know who you are. We haven't mentioned any names here, but you know who you are. That's why I hung up on you. So we'll move on. I want to talk a little bit about the races. I kind of did, but you people out there, you candidates, need a big hand. I've watched you over the primary season. You've conducted yourself professionally. You abided by the rules. As the chairman of the Marion County Republican Party, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And we're going to see what the people say May 5th.
Amen.
Now, Scott Godin is the Tennessee State Republican Party chairman. He's top in Tennessee. He got a couple letters from commissioners about us supporting Kelly Hudson, an independent.
Wow.
They wrote and told on me. So I got a call from Scott, and I explained to Scott that Miss Hudson was going to run as a Republican, but she was told she didn't qualify, she wasn't bona fide. This was early. So Kelly decided to run as an independent. The difference is, and the reason he approved this body endorsing Kelly Hudson was because she has no Republican primary challenger. And I quote Scott, he'd rather have an I in than a D any day of the week. So I hope that he wrote the two commissioners letters explaining the position he explained to me, and that's put to bed. So y'all, this job right here is really fun.
4 more years. 4 more.
You know, we went through this process with the GOP for, I don't know, 6-8 months.
Yes,
About this
you were part of the board.
This bona fide process. And I don't think we got very good, clear advice through that from those leadership people.
Well,
The rules seemed to me to keep changing as the months went down. And that disturbed me, Jack.
I understand that. It disturbed all of us.
Okay.
I was hot under the collar. One of our mayoral candidates was told he wasn't bona fide, couldn't run, and finally, after several phone calls by Rory, myself, the candidate, I finally got a phone call right before either a county commission meeting or this meeting telling me that he could run
I think it was the
As a Republican.
Yeah, it was
as a
the
Republican.
first week of March is when we were told we were finally approved.
Yeah.
So we missed, it doesn't matter. We're approved, we're gonna do our best.
Well, now, in defense of Scott and the Republican Party, state Republican Party, this was, have you ever planned on doing something, you write it all out and you plan it and everything goes haywire?
Not every day.
Every day.
Yeah, every day. Well, Scott said, you know, this is new to us. It didn't go the way we expected it. We will refine it
Okay.
and make it right.
They do realize
so
that.
they realized they
this-
messed up.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, enough, that's great.
When they finally came here and said, you can run as a Republican, but if a bona fide Republican runs against you, they can challenge you, and you can be wiped off the slate if you're not a bona fide Republican, if a bona fide Republican runs against you. And that was the first time I really heard that rule. And that was kind of late into the game.
Yeah,
But see, that was after Kelly was told she couldn't run. It was after Pixie Kilgore was told she couldn't run Republican.
Patrick
And then they
Farrell.
come in here and tell us that.
Yeah, and
And we were,
There were several people that it affected.
yeah, it affected a lot of people, and so they're going to get better at that. Last thing, I did not say, in the same conversation about Kelly, Scott Goldberg and I were talking about funding our Republican candidates. And by state law,
Here it goes.
we can only fund $1,000 total.
What?
You can form a PAC.
Huh?
Other GOPs do it. You're allowed to form a PAC.
Yeah, and then you gotta do the filings and all that, and we're just not in a position to do that between now and August. So,
$1,000
total,
per
All the
candidate?
candidates.
No.
With every candidate.
all candidates, we can only give out, this board can only give out $1,000,
Total.
state law. Unless we form a PAC.
He might want to help us. He knows how to do it.
Yeah, you know how to do it?
I don't know how to do it. What I'd recommend though, because you're going to do it state localized, I'm more experienced with federal PACs, is just, I imagine you have a number of attorneys who are friendly with your GOP in the county.
Good saying.
There's some Republican attorneys in the county.
I'm sure the state can help us.
But I would say speak with an attorney who might be sympathetic to the GOP and
I'm sure
it's as
there's one
simple as
out there.
filing paperwork, and typically, if they're really friendly, they're strong Republicans, they won't charge you. And I think the donation limit is $5,300 a candidate with that you can donate.
I think on the state level, if I'm not mistaken, Scott told me we would be able to give up to 15,000.
Might be 15. I think. I'm wondering if that might be. I was just in Virginia the last few months.
Yeah.
Working up
In your
there.
dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ain't got it. I should have said 8. We do not have it.
Yeah, but it's pretty simple to file. I know some GOPs that are like, oh, we'll set one up. We're not going to donate enough to it, so we'll shut it down for this year to avoid the tax paperwork if there's any, and they'll open it up the next year.
You know, one thing is that we need to get with Tina, our new election commissioner, I guess would be,
She's an AOE.
Acting.
an AOE. What's that stand for?
She's the administrator of elections.
Okay. We need to get with her because I don't know what kind of reporting you have to do when an organization like the Republican Party gives you money. I don't know. But my suggestion to you, is to contact me if you feel like you need help. After the primaries, if you feel like you need help, it depends on how many people step up. If we only have, 3 people step up, we could give $300. Which ain't gonna do much, is it? Like I could
I
say.
can't believe that you can only give $1,000 to all the candidates.
Jeff, after the primary, when we have those that are slate, we could advertise in the newspaper.
We've done
those
that.
candidates that are
We've done
running.
that.
Yeah,
Does that count as part of the 1,000?
no,
Good.
no.
Take a big ad. Really big ad.
And we can do it numerous times.
I can help with that.
That's to say, you put it on there.
Yes, you can, and we'll get that copy to you when we figure out, where we're going. Okay, that's all from the commissioner. I know that was long, but at this point, I think we have our candidates come up. I tell you what, let's let our representatives from Marcia Blackburn and John Rose come up. They are traveling and they may wanna,
I'm gonna be at all times, so
no, but
I'm in no rush.
That's okay.
Óndale pues.
Break the ice for us. Come on.
Patrick
Come on,
Lovelady, come on up.
Come on up.
I'll let the sheriff say it. Alrighty.
En inglés, mijo.
He is the special assistant to John Rose.
Yes, that just means I have a very fancy title of a lot of jobs and very underpaid. But my name's Patrick Loveday. I represent Congressman John Rose, mostly in Upper East Tennessee, but it's a pleasure to join you all here this evening. I'm going to tell you a little bit about John, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're doing. I'm not going to take up a lot of time. John's an 8th generation Tennessean. He's a lifelong Tennessean farmer and small businessman who's created multiple extremely successful companies in this state. You know, he's the only candidate in this governor's race across all the different ballots who has that true experience of signing the front of a check, knowing what it means to step up and say, I know what it takes to lead people and how to manage people. Because at the end of the day, that's what the governor of Tennessee is. You're not like Florida with Ron DeSantis, you know, where you have a Republican supermajority and everyone just agrees on everything. You know, the state house and state senate failed to pass voter registration in this state. And now you see what's happening in Knox County, where a commissioner, a Democrat commissioner, is being brought up on charges by the district attorney for voting in the Republican primary. That's a shame. And frankly, you know, I know you all have a Democrat mayor here, and my gosh, I hope that changes very quickly soon. But if that type of laws don't get put in place in this state, what's going to end up happening is you're going to have Republicans who aren't fully Republicans getting voted on by Democrats in a Republican primary. So what do we say is you need to know how to work with the whole House and the whole Senate. You need to know who to go to when and where in order to get different things done. Marion County is one of those counties where, you know, I was talking to this gentleman in the Dallas Cowboys shirt right there, and he was telling me, you know, infrastructure is a big problem out here. You know, a lot of people are moving into southern Tennessee. You look at Chattanooga, it's half an hour of standstill traffic just to get onto the highway here.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be right.
Every day.
But infrastructure isn't just roads, it's broadband internet, it's power, it's waste management, it's clean water. Now, not all of those problems exist in this county, but if we keep with the growth that we're going on, it's going to be happening. John has been all across this state. He's currently the congressman for Tennessee's 6th Congressional District. That's the Cookeville area and above all the way to Nashville. And in that time, he's taken the last year and a half. He announced on March 20th, his governor's race last year, that he was coming to see you all. And I know he's been in Marion County twice before, but we're coming for a 3rd time. The other day, we announced our Tennessee True Tour, and we're excited to be returning to as many counties as we can hit between now and August 6th. So I have this sheet right here. This sheet stays entirely with me. You don't get added to some big emailing list. You don't get added to the Republican Party donor call list. This stays with us. And all this is when we're in the area, either this Marion County or a neighboring county, and John's here doing an event because we meet with voters. We have to listen to you all. Because we don't represent John Rose, we represent you all. If you all want to put your name down here, it'll be me or one of our interns personally calling you and inviting you out. And we'd love to have you out to meet John, ask him the questions himself, because I can't do him justice. He's a better speaker than I am. But, like I said, short and sweet, thank you all for your time, and I appreciate y'all having me.
Thank you.
Patrick, one quick question. I
Yes,
know
sir.
Travis and I both had that look on our face. We don't ever remember John Rose coming.
We have been to Marion County twice, but it was very early on in the campaign in comparison. So to give you reference, he was still technically running for his 4th term in Congress. He's term limiting himself, that's why we're running for governor. But he was still technically running for Congress when he came here on his governor's race. He did 2 different meet and greets. I think it was about 25 people each. But we advertised them on our social media, and frankly, no one was really caring about what was happening in 2024 with a governor candidate. We kind of had a presidential candidate to worry about.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you know, it's just that. We're working now to make sure, like I said, we're on this tour to come out and meet you all if you haven't had the opportunity. And I'd love to get the information about your guys' dinner. John goes to as many as he can, and hopefully we're not conflicting with another date. Is it before August 6th?
No, it will be after.
It'll be after. Well, we'll look forward to being here as the Republican nominee for governor.
Yeah. Now, when John comes, if you could notify the Marion County
GOP.
Republican Party.
Yeah, so what we do is we actually...
We have a Facebook, we
Yeah.
could advertise it on
We'll
there.
notify you, we'll notify all the media in the area, we'll take out newspaper ads, and soon enough you'll see us all across TV and your Facebook feeds, and we'll advertise all of our tour stops that way. We're never one for private events. It matters not what big interest groups say, not what anything like that. we're not accepting mass amounts of PAC money. John's self-funding his campaign for a large degree, because we'll win with our values and our trust that we represented the people of Tennessee on this campaign and nobody else.
Thank you.
Thank
Morning.
And Nick Devins, representing Marcia Blackburn campaign for governor. And everybody knows Nick, I think.
Yes.
I'm Nick Devins. I work with Team Tennessee, help support Marcia Blackburn. She's running for governor. She's running for governor here in Tennessee. A couple things. I was actually meeting with some law enforcement earlier today.
Did you get a ticket for that, or?
No. That's a good thing about doing the campaign stuff is all the sheriffs, all the law enforcement. So I haven't got a ticket yet. So, but maybe I've ever get in that situation. It may help you out a little bit. But I've met with a lot of law enforcement across Southeast Tennessee, especially including here in Marion County. And you guys have a really big sheriff's race coming up. We're looking forward to working with whoever becomes the next sheriff here of Marion County. But one of the big things I hear, especially across this part of the state, is lack of funding, not just in law enforcement, but just overall. I think we all can agree we definitely need more money here in Marion County for infrastructure, for a lot of things. You talked about schools. That's a big thing for us. I mean, really, it's just back to the basics. I know I was over in Coffee County. There was this rock that was over one of the high schools, and they painted like Gender Diversity Month or something like that. The school was celebrating the pride flag on the rock and the school and all these things. And we don't need that kind of stuff in our schools. I know you're talking about schools earlier. These kids are our future. We don't need to brainwash them with this weird gender diversity stuff. Just back to the basics. I was homeschooled, I think largely because my parents didn't want me to have to deal with that kind of stuff. Thankfully, I didn't have to, but these kids in these schools are our future, and we really believe that. So we're trying to. A lot of this campaign is not just for now, but it's looking 10, 20, 30 years in the future and preparing Tennessee and these kids for that future. And that's why we're proud to have TPUSA's endorsement for that, because those kids are our future of the Conservative Party, and so we're glad to have their support in that. But schools, getting this woke stuff out of our schools, getting these transgender athletes out of our schools, funding police, supporting our police. I had lunch with officers earlier today, Tennessee Highway Patrol officers, sheriff's officers, and a lot of them supported Marcia Blackburn because they believe she's tough on crime, and they need that. They need that support, not just in places like Memphis when they have the Memphis Safe Task Force, but even here in Marion County, in Hamilton County, in Chattanooga, in Knox County, all those places. So when you're thinking about who to vote for governor, when we talk about Marcia, we're talking about someone who's had a working relationship with all the mayors, with all the sheriffs, with all the state representatives, with all the senators across the state, who's worked with all these people, who knows all these people, who's been to every county across the state multiple times, not just when she's campaigning. So she's come to these counties not asking people for what they can give to her, but what she can give to them. I think that matters. I think that's important. I think she has that. Well, she does have that working relationship, and I think that's important to the state as a whole as well. So I ask you to please consider us when you go to vote. Our election's not until August. Make sure you go out and vote in May. I saw a lot of voting is pretty low in a lot of counties, so make sure you go out and vote in May if you haven't already. Make sure you vote in August, and ask you to support Marcia Blackburn for governor.
Thank you. Now, it looks like we have five candidates. I am not going to speak for the sake of time because I'm not primary. So, Mr. Thompson, would you go first for us?
I would
break
be
the ice?
glad to.
And we'd ask you, Marion County Messenger is filming, so behind the podium if you could.
Sure. I want to just take a moment and thank those of you that have voted or will vote next week for your support and your understanding of where I'm coming from as a potential commissioner. I think you all know what I stand for. I've spoken several times, and I think that I have a lot to give to the county, and I hope you will understand that and be ready to check my name when the time comes for you next week. But I really, truly thank you. I thank the board. All of our community is just wonderful.
What is your name?
Sorry. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm Dave Thompson. I'm running for District 3 County Commissioner. And it's an honor to do so. And I just want to thank you and thank everyone here that's done so much for me in the years that I've been here in Duke, and everyone for all your support and well wishes. So thank you.
Commissioner Schaefer.
I'm Paul Schaefer. I am presently County Commissioner, District 3, Seat C. I'm running again for re-election. You've seen what I've done over the last 3.5 years. If you think I've done a good job, I ask you to support me to continue doing the job. If not, there's 2 other candidates that would like to take my seat. Thank you.
Candidates, I would ask that you look in the camera, because we're not talking to the people here. We're talking to the people out there. When you give your, it's kind of a closing statement. So on Mayor Orr, I only way to do it was I went alphabetical order.
Just like on the ballot.
Yeah, just like on the ballot. I didn't think about it. Let's reverse it then.
Oh, I'll go first.
Well, you're
You want me to go first?
you're first because
Because
Hudson.
I'm better looking, but other than that,
Yeah, Tom, lead us off. Mayoral candidate.
mayoral. Take it easy, Mac. Hello, my name's Tom Hudson. I'm running for Marion County Mayor as a Republican candidate. Tonight, you're going to hear a lot of guys say a lot of things. Hear a lot of vague promises and a lot of things that really can't be true. And so I've sat down and I said a few times, I'm willing to talk about the things that are going to matter to us here in Marion County. If you want to match education, I'm willing to match my education to yours. My experience, we'll do that. But I've done that. If you want to see it, it's on the website, Tom Hudson for County Mayor, under the gears. What's really going to matter to us in Marion County is what's in here. What your candidate believes in here. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. And most of everything I've ever had good happen to me is from Jesus Christ. What that means to me is that there's a different standard of behaviors. I know that I will stand in front of my Lord and Savior at the end of time, and I will give account for everything I've done. And I don't mind so much the stuff I've done because I did it. I'm guilty. The stuff that breaks my heart and shames me, that makes me embarrassed, is the times that God laid something on my heart. I need you to do this. Would you do that? And I said, I'm too busy. I've got Little League. I can't get to it this week. The things I haven't done are the things that I'm going to pay for more than anything. So when God laid on my heart to run for Marion County Mayor, all I said is, Lord, if this is what you'd have me do, open the doors. And I thought, oh boy, I got off easy because the first thing I was told by the Republican Party is, you're not qualified. I said, okay. When the lady told me that, I said, if you want, I'll let you borrow my Ronald Reagan for President button and I'll send it right out to you. And it went on and on and on and on, and God just kept opening door after door after door. I'm here today, win or lose. Whatever God chooses for this will be what happens. I hope everyone here understands that we do this because we think we need to do it for the right reasons. So any questions at all, I'll be happy to answer. It's time to run. Good seeing you.
Travis? Yeah, let me preface Travis's remarks. He's suffering from sinuses just like me. I think everybody. So I'm sure he's going to do fine. But he told me he may not be able to go 3 minutes.
First of all, I would like to say that when I win this primary, the donation that you want to give, I would like to have mine to go to one of the students of the high schools that give them a little bit for their future. I think they are our future now.
Yes.
You know, we say they're our future coming, they're our future now, and I think that would be beneficial to them. So, as most of you know, I'm Travis Lane. I'm running for Marion County Mayor. My message has always been the same. I'm running because of the people. I think it's time now that the people have their voice and that they be heard and they be part of the decisions made. We need true leadership, which means in that our leadership needs to lift up the people of our county. The citizens are the CEO of this county, despite what other people say. The mayor is not, it's the citizens. They have the right. It's their voice. This is their county. This is your county. It's not anybody that holds public office. It's time that we get past all the negative stuff and start focusing on the positive stuff. It's time to make our citizens part of the decisions. You know, I understand. I face struggles too, as most people out there face. I face a lot of challenges that most people face. I know what it's like when you don't have all the information and you don't get told all the information. We're going to change all that. It's time now that our citizens gets the right information at the right time. It's time that you get a weekly update from the mayor's office. It's time that you hear what's happening in our county before it happens. Like I said, I'm Travis Lane. I want to be your next Marion County Mayor. Thank you.
Larry Montague.
Sir. Hi everybody, Larry Montague, running for Marion County Mayor. I am from Tennessee. I've been told a lot of people have been saying other things than that, but I guarantee I'm from Tennessee. Love this state. Came from the west side of it, grew up there, met my sweet wife here in junior high school, in Colonia Junior High School, when we were just puppies, just about. But bottom line is, I've gotten to hear a lot of things. We moved here about 9 years ago and started going to some of these meetings, getting to know people. And I'm very impressed with Marion County. We can do better. We can do better. Memphis is a lot worse than Marion County. This is one of the most beautiful parts of Tennessee. That's why we moved up here. Born in Shelby County, we chose to live in Marion County. I've talked to so many people over the last 15 months that it's been amazing what I've heard. It kind of scares me at times. People can't explain why certain things have happened. People can't understand where the money goes. We've got other in our budgets. I tried to go through the budget. It's pretty hard to see what other's all about. So one of the things we want to do is be transparent. I've been at some of these meetings. People are shocked when they hear things. So bottom line is transparency. And I know a lot of us, Travis, have been talking about that. You know, getting the word out there, telling, even we need to know what's going to happen at the meetings, what the agendas are prior to even being here at the commission meetings. But bottom line is, I love this county. I've done this for the last 19 years as a president and CEO. And you have to treat people like they're needed and they're wanted. And we are here to serve the people. But I've been able to do that over the last 19 years in 65 countries, negotiating with people for certain deals to make our industry better. And I do the same thing here, not in 65 countries, but negotiating with people to try to make our county better, our taxes lower, and hopefully we can do all kind of things for the older people here that need some help as well. And I do think the schools can be advanced and we could do a better job in them. They're doing good now. But we've got a whole lot of volunteers here that want to be mentors and help these kids at school. Help out the teachers, not take over what the teachers are doing, but just come in and help them. You know, they got a lot of things going on. If somebody could be a mentor in accounting or anything of that nature or business, that's what they're here to do for. And I believe in growth. I've done that all my life. All my life, every job I've been in. I didn't get fired from any job, I got promoted. And the last 19 years, as I mentioned, president and CEO of an international organization, and know a little about the world and this business part of it. And I think the mayor should be a businessman. I really do. It's hard to you get stuck in a rut a lot of times. I've seen people walk past something 15 times and not even know it was messed up until the new person walked in and saw it. So I'm Larry Montague. I'm running for Marion County Mayor, and I'm serious about this thing. We don't want to leave here. We want to be here and be a part of this even more every day. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Now, Marie Lane is running for the school board. Would you like to say a few words, Marie?
Yes, I can.
Come on up.
I don't know if I can stand behind the podium because I'm short.
Yeah, they might not see you.
You may not can see me if I stand behind the podium.
Just get
So
in
I'll
front of the
stand
camera.
beside it here. I'm Marie Lane. I'm running for Marion County School Board. Travis and I have raised 4 sons. We have found out this week we have our 9th grandchild on the way. So, we're super excited about that. But anybody that knows me knows I have a heart for kids. And I'm going to cry. I can't help it. That's just who I am. Our kids, everybody says they're the future. But I'm telling you, these kids are now. They're not future. They're doing more now than we're doing. And it should put every one of us to shame. What that Interact Club did should make all of us want to volunteer any time that we have. I had the privilege of volunteering for 4 of my grandkids as classrooms Thursday. I got to go into their classrooms and read a book about autism and inclusion for autism and awareness for autism. And those kids, they just eat up that. And you can tell there's not many people that come in and do that. We need to do better. I'm a doer, I'm not a talker. So you're not going to hear many words from me, but when you do, they mean something. I'm on my feet. I'm a doer. I'm not going to stand up here and say what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. And y'all can see what I do. So vote for me. 5th District School Board member. Thank you.
And last but not least, our favorite independent, Miss Kelly Hudson.
I'm a little short too, so I'm going to stand sort of next to this this podium. My name is Kelly Hudson Hogan. I am running for Marion County Trustee. Just a little bit, Jeff, if you don't mind, I'm going to talk a little bit about what happened and why I wasn't able to run as a Republican. I do feel it's fair. In 2022, my brother was murdered. And at that time, I decided to focus on my family and my boys, my parents and my boys. And it was incredibly hard dealing with that situation. So I spent a lot of my time focused on them instead of on political races. So I missed the primary and the general elections in 2022. For that reason, I did vote, of course, in 24. However, because of that reason, I wasn't qualified and I wasn't bona fide to run as a Republican. So I'm running as an independent, and I would still appreciate your vote. One thing that I wanted to mention is that I am running on several different things. One thing that I want to do is to open, just like Corey Blevins had mentioned, I want to open up the tax office, the trustee's office from 8 to 12 on some Saturdays. I don't really feel it would be necessary from, say, March until September. It just doesn't make sense. But when the tax bills come out, a lot of people don't have an opportunity to get to the trustee's office to pay their property taxes, and I feel opening up for a half a day on Saturday at no cost to the taxpayer would be very wise. Because 7,000 people approximately leave the county every day to go work in Chattanooga, it just makes sense to me to maybe take a couple of my employees, let them have a day off during the week or half a day off during the week and work on Saturdays. To me, it just makes a lot more sense to our taxpayers to make ourselves available to them. Another thing that I am interested in doing is attending all city meetings. I have been attending city meetings up until this point after I made my announcement for election. I will be going to all city meetings from this point forward to meet with my constituents, to meet with taxpayers if they have any questions or concerns, or if they may have issues that they aren't able to pay their taxes. I can give them some links and some resources that would give them an opportunity to help meet their needs. That's another thing that I want to do. And the third thing that I'd like to talk about doing would be to, I gotta cheat, sorry. Would be that the city each city in this county receives the monthly report from the trustee's office. I feel it is in our constituents' best interest to publish these every single month so that the constituents, so the taxpayers, have an opportunity to see exactly where the money's going, where it sits, and what's being done with it. That just makes sense to me. And finally, I'll leave you with this little anecdote. I am running because I believe in what I know. I've worked 25 years in the financial sector. I worked as a mortgage broker. I taught mortgage brokering for a number of years in the state of Florida, for the state of Florida. And I was also principal mortgage broker for a number of years. And of course, I worked in teller positions and other things of that nature for a number of years as well. But I believe that just because I don't believe in legacy positions. I don't think that it's fair that if you work in an office and you are handed down generation after generation, it's really unfair to other people coming in to have an opportunity to run a fair race. So, as an example, my mother at one time worked for a neurosurgeon. And if that neurosurgeon had left, would it be fair to say that she could step up and just do surgery? Absolutely not. It doesn't necessarily mean that if you work in a business that you understand all facets of that business. Leadership and managing a business, managing an office are two totally different things than simply working in that office. I want to be your next trustee. I'm here for questions. If you have any questions for me, let me know. I'm happy to answer them.
Yeah, I will, and I'm not going to share much information, but just to tell you that Kelly's brother was killed in South Pittsburgh, shot in the back. So we're not immune. There you talk about Memphis, and we're not immune. So that's sad. At this time, right before we adjourn, Paul, do you have anything to add?
No.
Suzanne?
Yes.
Marilyn?
No.
Kim?
I do. Patrick, can you spell your last name for me for my notes?
It's Loveday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of course.
That's it.
Nothing from me.
Okay, anything from the public?
Yeah, I thought maybe it'd be discussed tonight about these what would we call it? I would say property tax evaluations and all. I thought that would be discussed, and I haven't heard anything. What's the same with?
I understand.
I mean, all of our neighbors are hot.
Yeah,
Automatically.
Jeff, can I address?
Well, let me say this, the county had nothing to do with that. That was
So who do we take the pitchforks?
to the state assessor's office.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I know Daryl Pittman is a friend of mine. We worshiped the Lord for 20 years together. Everybody's blaming him. Everybody's blaming Mayor Jackson. But it wasn't our tax assessor, the county tax assessor that appraised these properties. It was the state. And, you know, by law, the county can't benefit monetarily
For 1 year.
for 1 year.
For 1 year only, okay.
And that's what scares me.
Because you live in a house for more than 1 year.
Right.
Okay.
So, Paul?
If your assessment has gone up,
A lot. A lot.
which everybody's did,
Yeah.
the tax rate will go down. You will not pay any more in taxes than you did the previous
For 1 year.
year.
Yeah, but that's for the county, not for the cities.
That's correct.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
if the county decides not to raise the tax rate, it'll remain the same at the lower level. And that's the discussions that the county commissioners will be going into in these next couple of months. I myself do not foresee a tax increase on the county level.
Tom, what I was gonna ask you, it looks like, I know you posted some insight into what's actually going on. Can the cities
The cities are
keep their
separate.
tax
Yeah,
rates the
Yeah,
same?
they're separate from the county. The city is completely on their own. And so all of our cities in Marion County have different tax rates.
Right.
Okay, you folks in Newport haven't spent a lot of money, got a good tax rate.
Yeah.
Go right across the Blue Bridge and get a 2.75 or whatever it is now. in
Yeah,
South
it's really
Pittsburgh,
high.
kind of thing. And it has to do with what the city commission spends money on. If you bought a lot of stuff you want and nothing you need, and you used grants, matching grants, your tax rate's going up.
Yeah.
So
Gotta
ask
pay for
people,
that
would
match.
you have paid double your property tax to have an extra bike lane? Or, and I'll talk about folks in Whitwell, do you want street lights at the end of the street right down by where the swamps are? That's gonna be another grant thing. So you have to watch the cities. Forevermore, if you got a double assessment, that assessment will always be what they start with. If they change the millage rate, how much they want to charge you, when they do that, the assessment stays the same. So if the county goes up, guess what? You pay more. If the city goes up, you pay more. That will stay with you, will be with you for at least 5 years. It never has gone down.
No.
So what you're gonna see is whatever the cities and the county does, minimum, this is as low as it's gonna get. Sorry, was that?
Now, if you live in the county, how does that?
Oh, you have the county, you don't have a city rate. See, I live in the county because I didn't want to live in the city. Does that make sense? So are you in Marion County or just?
Marion County.
Yeah, you're just gonna get the county rate, 1.006.
The county hasn't raised the taxes in 3 years.
And a lot of them, when I did the work and did the
Actually,
mathematics,
11 years.
if you live in the
Yeah,
county, a
look,
lot
I
of people
don't-
are
I
gonna
don't
actually
think
get a
that's
reduction.
right.
$100 or $50, but it won't be any more than it was last year, in most instances.
But we don't have garbage.
Seeing is believing.
Yeah. Well, we all know that.
No, but Tom,
Sir.
maybe I didn't make myself clear. So the county, by law,
Yeah, by state law.
has to be a neutral
For 1 year.
for 1 year.
Yeah.
The city, by law, do they have to be neutral?
I don't know that.
Okay, I didn't know if you know that.
No, at the South Pittsburgh meeting, they talked about actually lowering the rate to try and make up for it.
Yeah.
So depending on your city and the commissioners, because you have good ones, if you can, move to Kimball. They have the best tax rate in Marion County.
I thought New Hope did.
No, you guys are just a little bit more than
We're
that.
like 28.
Well, I tell you what, get a Walmart, put it in New Hope, and you guys will be just fine.
Yeah, yeah. So, the city of South Pittsburgh is special.
Oh,
And I mean that when it comes to taxation. The previous mayor raised the property taxes 136% in 1 year. There are some of my constituents that are paying more in city taxes than they are in county taxes. Now, that was the outgoing mayor that did that.
Is the outgoing mayor running for any elections this year?
Yes, she's running for my seat, or the seat I'm running for.
Okay. Just thought I would ask.
Well, I wasn't gonna bring up that point, but since you asked. And as Tom said, it was all about grants and match from cities. They overextended themselves by getting all of these grants, spending the money and not being able to make the match. And the state comptroller said, cut expenses or raise the taxes. You'd think the logical thing would be to cut expenses. Well, there was a third option. If you did nothing, the state was going to take over the money for South Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
But they didn't cut, they raised the taxes 136%.
And then she left, right?
Yeah, she left. That was a parting gift, which, you know. So anyway, y'all hear more about that as I kick up my campaign, because my heart hurts for the elderly people in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
It'll bring a tear to your eye to think what they have done to the people of South Pittsburgh. I'm talking about
The elders.
8th generation South Pittsburgh.
Fixed income.
I don't know what the word is, Pittsburghians?
Yeah.
Something like that.
State, just say state champions will all know.
Oh, state, yeah, if we say state champion, Marion County would
I don't know
know.
what you're at.
That was good. Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank God.